You're watching the Wine and Cheese Music Session, only on RadioFreeNY.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Evin, a Toronto-based singer-songwriter and keyboard player. You just landed on the RFNY Toronto Penthouse Suite, where we are now going to sip some wine, cut some cheese, shoot the breeze, and play some music. Yeah.
Now your bio says that you write some hokey songs. Now, were you saying hokey, or do you really mean you write hockey songs? I mean,
Hooky.
oh, hooky.
Yeah.
Hooky, meaning?
Meaning I like to put, I like hooks, like the catchy.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I gotta change that and make it more clear.
Maybe there was a typo, or I just didn't see a double O in it, but hooky songs.
Yeah. You ever see the movie One Trick Pony, the Paul Simon?
Yes.
Do you remember the scene where he's in this office, this record company office, and he's like meeting with this record company guy, and there's this radio guy in there, and there's like, it's like a kind of an intense scene, and the radio guy saying to Paul Simon's character, songs need hooks these days. You need hook, you know what a hook is, right? Don't you know? And Paul Simon's like, yeah, I know. He's like, repetition of a catchy phrase.
That's right. And so, what in your mind, or your fans' mind, you think of yours has the biggest hook, the biggest, catchiest song?
I feel it's got to be one of my new songs, which I haven't released yet, which is going to be on my new album, which I just recorded, called Al Green. Yeah, I could play that.
Do that.
Yeah, sure.
Hear a hooky or a hockey song.
I haven't written any hockey songs yet. This is a song called Al Green. I'm sure there are other ones that have good hooks too, but I feel this one's...
Now, Al Green is in the well-known singer Al Green?
Yeah. Someday I wanna be in love and sing like Al Green. This love deserves a chance, but I feel out of romance, and I don't have the fire in me to kiss my sweetheart the way she needs. Ooh la la la, ooh la la la. Someday I wanna be in love and sing like Al Green. I don't want to waste more time nursing a love that doesn't feel like mine. Don't know where, I don't know how, but there's a real love if I want it now. Ooh la la la, ooh la la la. Someday I wanna be in love and sing like Al Green. Someday I wanna be in love and sing like Al Green, sing like Al Green. Do 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 do. Ooh. Do 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 do. Ooh. Someday I wanna be in love. Someday I wanna be in love. Someday I wanna be in love and sing like Al Green. Sing like Al Green. It's a love within my reach. Sing like Al Green. I'm gonna sing like Al Green. Do 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 do. Do 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 ooh. Do 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 ooh. Do do got some hooks in it.
That does definitely have
You know?
hooks. I mean, being a radioactive guy in my past, there's no question. And hey, I guess the Bare Naked Ladies could have hits with Yoko Ono,
Right.
Brian Wilson. Al Green is next.
And I was just listening to reminded of the Weezer song called Buddy Holly.
Right.
Remember that song?
Right,
Like him?
yeah, sure do. Right.
You know?
Wow, that's really neat. So, Mike, this really catchy, hooky song, Al Green, that's going to be from an upcoming album. You have an idea, a CD, I should say, about when you think it might be coming out?
It'll be coming out soon. Coming out sometime this year, 2014.
And is there going to be any collaboration or any connection with Bare Naked Ladies on this record?
Not directly. They didn't play on it, but the person who I collaborated the most with it, the producer, his name is Howie Beck. Bare Naked Ladies introduced us. Tyler Stewart had the idea that we would be a good team, and they're good friends, so they put us together, and we really hit it off. Howie Beck, and a really funny story about Howie Beck is Howie Beck. When my first cousin got married. And he lives in Toronto. His wife was like, "Oh, when I moved to Toronto, he's like, oh, you should, you're a musician in Toronto. You should meet my old friend Howie Beck. We used to date. We were like dated in high school, and I know he's doing music in Toronto." And so that was the first time I heard the name Howie Beck. And then just becoming part of the community, I started to hear his name a lot more. And then it's just so funny that here we are collaborating after all these years. And he's my cousin's wife's first boyfriend.
It's such a small world.
Yeah.
Are there any other established musicians or producers you work with?
Depends on how established you feel they are. But my last album I recorded in Nashville with this guy Brad Jones, and he great guy, and he produced Josh Rouse, who's had some success, and I don't know if you remember Jill Sobule.
Oh yes, very
she had a
much so.
song, "I Kissed a Girl."
Radio. Yes, very well.
So he produced that. He co-produced that song,
Right.
and yeah. So I guess he's the other bigger name that I've worked with. And then there's Don Kurt, who I mentioned earlier, who's Drawn Sexsmith drummer, and that's pretty much it on the Bare Naked Ladies guys.
And speaking about Bare Naked Ladies again, can you share with us any fun experiences you've had during your recordings with them? Are there any late night recording sessions or anything that involved any mind-altering drugs or anything wacky while recording with BNL?
Geez, it was almost 10 years ago. Let's see if I can remember. We're all pretty straight. Like, we're all pretty straight guys, so we don't do drugs. We got to mix the record in LA with Jim Scott. I don't know if you know. Do you know who Jim Scott is?
Sure. Well known.
Well-known mixer and engineer and producer. So we went down to LA, and we mixed the record in the same studio that the Beach Boys recorded all their famous songs.
Ocean Way, was that?
It was called Ocean Way. It was originally called Western. Then it was called Ocean Way. And at the time when I was there, it was called Cello Studios. Now I think it's still there with a different name.
Same studio, though.
Same studio.
Name, and some of the greatest recordings in the history of American music made there. With Brian Wilson and company.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like at the studio that we were working in, apparently a couple months before that, the room that I was working in, Paul McCartney and Brian Wilson were there doing something together.
Wow, so that really had to give you some real chills knowing the history of that room.
But Jim, throughout the recording, okay, here's a couple of anecdotes of the recording. Like throughout the recording of that album, I guess I wasn't the best dresser. I didn't really know how to dress stylish. Like I didn't think it was that important to dress stylish when I was recording. So I would come to the sessions in my jogging pants or my shorts, and I thought that was all right. And Jim started to make fun of me, so I had no fashion sense, and I got to just be a bit more on it with that. So when we were in LA,
we took a break one day. Jim Scott was working on the mixes, and we went. Jim Cregan took me to this fancy thrift shop and took me clothes shopping and tried to style me and tried to, so that was fun. And another time, we were working on the guitar overdubs for "Stripper My Car," and I guess I was tired that day, and I just fell asleep on the floor outside the room where we were doing the recording, and then Jim took a picture of me asleep, and then I came back in after I woke up, and I was listening to the guitar parts, and I was like, I was criticizing some of the guitar parts, and I wasn't digging some of it, and Jim was like, "Hey man," show me the pictures. "You were asleep. You could have been here while we were doing it and put in your input," but so he had that picture on me to show me that I was sleeping on the job.
And is there a song from those sessions that Jim Scott felt was the closest thing to a hit record, or just one of his personal favorite songs of yours that you could do?
He really liked this song Martinique from that album, which I haven't performed in years. I haven't really performed that much lately. But he was like, he heard that song, and he's like, "It's got to be number 6 on the record. It's got to be the 6th song on the CD for some reason." I don't know, maybe I remember back in the day of vinyl, I guess people used to put their hits or their singles, like the first song on each side, right?
Right.
So maybe that he's equating 6 in the track listing with the first on the second side.
Right. Okay. Right.
But regardless, he really liked that song. So Jim Cregan was like, "If Jim Scott says number 6, it's going number 6.
Was it about Martinique?
No, it wasn't about the place. It was about a fictional. It was about a fictional girl who I called Martinique. Once again, kind of just about a character, written from the point of view of a character who gets obsessed about this girl who he has a one-night stand with, and kind of becomes a bit of a stalker. That's what the song's about. You want me to play some of it?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Do.
Okay. See, I can't really play it the way it is on the record because a big part of that recording is Jim's bass line, and he really had this integral, the kind of Billie Jean kind of bass line. Another cool thing about that recording was first of all, we did that take of that song. We came back from eating. You know what rotis are? You ever had Jamaican rotis?
No.
It's a dish, Jamaican dish,
Okay.
or Caribbean dish.
Okay.
Really filling, really heavy.
Okay.
We went out for lunch and we had rotis, and we came back and we did a few takes before going out for lunch, and we came back after lunch, and we had these rotis, and we were so laid back because we had these heavy stomachs, and we played really laid back, and that's what gave the song that character, the having had these rotis. So we marked it down in the log sheets, like post roti takes. And so I'll do a bit of it the best I can. Martinique, I'm coming to France. Martinique, I'm coming to France. Martinique, I'm coming to France one day. We had good food in a room with a view. We had good food in a room with a view. I woke up in the morning and you were gone. Ever since that memorable night, ever since that memorable night, I wonder how you look when the lights are on. So Martinique, I'm coming to France. Martinique, I'm coming to France. Martinique, I'm coming to France one day.
first bike. Your father sold me your very first bike. Your sister told me the clothes that you like to wear. But from that picture that the PI gave me, from that picture the PI gave me, I can't even make out the trees from your hair. So Martinique, I'm coming to France. Martinique, I'm coming to France. Martinique, I'm coming to France one day. Coming to France, coming to France, coming one day. Coming to France, coming to France, coming one day. Coming to France, coming to France, coming one day. Coming to France, coming to France, coming one day.
So that's that song.
I feel like I'm in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Now, how do you actually plan, Mike, to get extensive play and sales? Obviously, you have a song like Al Green, which has that natural catchiness, but is there something in your plan to attempt that?
Well, I think having a really memorable video that you could put on YouTube is so important these days, and I think that's going to be number one on my plan. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to release the album, like with a record label. I mean, obviously I'd love to get a bit of a team to help promote it and stuff, but I think regardless of whether you have a large team, a big record company or a small record company or a small team, if you have a really good song that you're going to put out as a single, you have to have a really memorable video. It's more important nowadays than ever, I think. So, number one, make a really good video for that song, and I'd also like to get some placements from my songs in films and TV shows and commercials, and I know a lot of artists are going for that, but I think that'll help a lot too. And just touring, like I'm really looking forward to getting out there and doing as much performing and touring. I think that's one of my, over the years, it's been one of my biggest selling points. When I've been able to get in front of an audience and make those personal connections and sing my songs and meet new fans, that's what's made the lasting, like the small but loyal fan base I have up until now. It's come from that, from getting out there and playing. So I think just getting out there on a bigger scale and performing and touring a lot and doing what I do, but just doing it as if getting out there as much as possible on a bigger scale, playing in front of bigger audiences, whether that's opening it up for other artists or other things. Yeah, just through performance.
By you being a part of our online, on-camera production, we really expect that we're going to get a lot of visibility for you. What shows stand out for you as a headliner without Bare Naked Ladies that is just one of your favorite concerts you've done anywhere? I guess maybe in the Toronto area. What club?
It doesn't necessarily have to be in the Toronto area. Well, I did this, one of the highlights up until now is I did this concert for CBC Radio a few years ago in Montreal. For this, it was just going to be broadcast across Canada, and the producer had the idea for me to do it with just me, piano, and a string quartet. And Andy Cregan arranged a few of the songs. Andy Cregan from Bare Naked Ladies. He arranged some of the songs. He's a really talented arranger. And so yeah, we got a string quartet together and did a handful of my songs in front of an audience with a string quartet and the piano, a really nice grand piano, and that was one of my favorite shows because it put me in a different. It was just a different way of approaching playing music, and I'm so used to playing either by myself, where I can kind of make all the mistakes I want, or just kind of take all the chances I want, or playing with a band where you kind of have a bit of a looseness that you can have. But when you're playing with players who have parts that are just written out, specifically what they're playing, it takes being tight to a whole new level. Like I had a new respect for classical musicians because they have to play what's on the paper, but they have to make it come alive and make it groovy within those constraints. And I had to adapt my piano playing to fit the consistency of what they were playing on their instruments that was written out. So it was just exciting for me. I really enjoyed it.
Was there a lot of rehearsal time
We just had a couple of rehearsals.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but enough. Yeah.
And what do you feel you most learned over the course of your CDs that you feel is helping your career today?
To let go. To just let go of when you're finished with a project. To let go of it. It's and that way I'm able to move on and do other things. Because sometimes it's hard to let go, and because I'm afraid sometimes of getting out there of the next step after you finish making a CD, of what that would be. So the more I do it, the more I'm able to learn to let go.
Right.
You know?
There's something about your music that kind of makes me think that you have some theater background.
I don't.
Right.
I've done a bit of like musical direction for theater, and like at my summer camp I directed a few plays. But other than that, I never was a big fan of musical theater growing up. And I remember in high school there was like a group of kids in the school. There was like a theater program, and they would be involved in putting on the plays every year. And I was definitely very into music at that time, but it didn't dawn on me that to get involved with that, even if like, they were all musicals that they were putting on it, but I wasn't involved for some reason. I didn't involve myself. So, but I like Fiddler on the Roof. I'm a big fan of Fiddler on the Roof and West Side Story.
Oh, West Side Story, one of the greatest Broadway musicals of all time. Is there something from that you could do? Since I so love the music of West Side Story, I'm sure our audience does too.
And the first jazz album that I got, my dad bought this jazz album for me. It's Andre Previn, who's a classical musician, but also a jazz pianist, and it was him and his trio doing the songs from West Side Story. So that was a big album for me because
I think he had a daughter named Dory Previn, maybe that went on to be a singer-songwriter in her own right.
Could be Dory Previn. But anyways, that album got me into jazz, so that was awesome. And I've never done West Side Story. How about? Oh, beautiful.
Bernstein Company.
Oh, great. Amazing songs.
Right.
And you got to hear the Andre Previn album. Because
I just put it down.
If you like jazz, I don't know if you like jazz or not.
I do. Well, but it has to do with West Side Story and jazz. And we spoke earlier off camera about the state of radio and so forth. And as you were commenting about nowadays, you could perhaps have radio hits by first taking it to YouTube. Have you ever thought about going the route of any of these so-called musical reality shows like American Idol or The Voice and trying to get on those shows?
No. No, because I don't think I would fly on those shows.
Right.
I think I'm not conventional enough, Right. But obviously, I just haven't. I just been doing things my own way, I guess. And it seems like too much hassle to go through, and humiliation, and fakeness.
Well, unconventional works. I mean, at least that's the route that a lot of people go with YouTube. And our motto at Radio Free is kills mainstream dead.
Oh yeah.
Now, have you ever sung the Canadian national anthem in front of a lot of people?
No, I've never sung it. I've never sung it.
Well,
Except with a group of people at an assembly or something like that. But I've never sung it myself.
Well, today's your special day because just like all the major music talent that we have videotaped, we have the radio-free version of the Canadian and the American national anthem. And in a second, we're going to pull up
the lyrics.
We're going to pull up the lyrics, just a few, like 2 lines worth. But we're going to have our talented creative director pull up the lyrics to the Canadian national anthem, RFNY style, and we'll hold it in front of you, and we will, with the camera rolling, as I'm going to do here, I will hold it up. You could maybe do a dress rehearsal, or maybe one take. This is the Radio Free version.
God keep our land glorious and free.
Oh, I didn't see those I said.
God keep our land glorious and radio free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for. Everyone join in.
Well, as it's always played at the beginning of any NHL hockey game, let the games begin and get ME all over the map of radio and TV.
Amen to that.
That's it.
This is RadioFreeNY.com.